This is the URT. You are the URT. Smash a like for the URT. Subscribe to the URT. Big up the URT, people. How we doing, people? How are we doing? Big up the URT. Big up the URT, people. Big up the URT. Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Welcome to the match reaction. Manchester United win. Get in there. Big up the Spurs. Up the Spurs. Thank you, Spurs. Liverpool in the mud. Liverpool in the mud, mate. They're in the mud, mate. Absolutely draw with the worst team. To be fair, we did that. What a weekend. Yeah, Chelsea get beat. Spurs get a point against Liverpool. Manchester United come win. Scrappy win, but we'll take it, people. Wow, Bruno Fernandes was phenomenal today. Everyone is entitled to their opinion on Bruno. 100% everybody is. Different people see it for different things. Big up to Andy Assis. I don't hate Bruno, but when he's a good game, I give him credit. But most of the time, his average fans today think stats are everything. For me, it's not just the numbers. Eyes test matters too. 100% agree with him. And I'm actually going to frame that. But I thought Bruno and Yoro were fantastic today. Yoro and Bruno were fantastic today, people. Yoro and Bruno. Yoro at the back, I thought was fantastic. I thought, actually, Maguire had a decent game at the back as well. But Yoro was brilliant. Some last-ditch tackles today. Bruno Fernandes is the Premier League 16 assist record man UFC. I'm proud of that. I'm pleased because I did it serving my teammates, giving a joy to others also is very good. Yeah, very good in my position. Yeah, the position I play, I'm very happy I can help them score. I'm happy. And in a moment, it's a huge achievement for me, but the main achievement would be to the top spot at the end of the season. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, people like and subscribe to the channel if you can. Wayne Rooney, Carrick, managerial job, 100%. Carrick should get the job. I have said this. I knew what was going to happen with Michael Carrick. I know him very well. And I know his character, his personality. He needed calm head, someone who knows the place, and players needed some love. And he's giving them that. We have seen players play with more quality, more togetherness as a team, and they look like a strong team. For me, why would he change? He has the best winning percentage of Manchester United manager after many games. Well, Rooney getting giddy there. It's always one, isn't it? We came to Ollie, it was Rio, and now is Wayne Rooney. Always propping their mates' jobs, mate, not what's good for Manchester United. But we'll have that debate. There have been many debates to have about that. But I want to talk to you about the game. Carrick, I'm quite pleased with things. We showed good cohesion. They had a few chances, but overall we were more dangerous side. It was a crucial match. Yeah, the boys responded well. Yeah, I must say that they played a lot better than we played against Newcastle. It must be said. It must absolutely be said. We played a lot better than we played against Newcastle, but it was still crap. Manchester United first half was slow, lethargic. Oh my God. It was at times just not up to it. I thought second half we come out fast, we show physicality. In the first half, the only thing that I liked that is that on the ball we didn't look as bad as we did against Newcastle. And we could not have gotten to look that bad because Newcastle, we were dreadful. It was a disgrace and people tried to tell me anything different. But against Villa today, on the ball, at times we looked really good. And we actually put balls in the box. I always said this to people who I sit next to at Old Trafford. I always tell them, we put the ball in the box more when Sesko's not on the pitch than when he's on the pitch. We don't cross the ball to him when he's on the pitch, but we put balls on. And I thought Casemiro, who else put a ball in? Casemiro, Diego Dalot, and somebody else, and Cunha whipped some fantastic balls in and around the 6-yard, 7-yard area, you know, in between the defense and the goalkeeper. And they were just absolutely, those balls were just absolutely needing just touch from a United player and they fly into the goal. It was those type of games, but those type of crosses. But no, the guy sat on the bench and we're crossing the ball like that. I thought when you come on, we looked dangerous still. The game became too open at times in the second half. But I thought the first 10 minutes of that first half, we came out came out, put pressure on. We score from the corner. Brilliant header again. Oh, my God, what a header. Right in front of me. What an absolute world-class header. Amazing ball by Bruno and an amazing header just inside the post. Literally clips into the far post. He glances it like that. The ball comes in and he's just like, bang, throws his head at it. And the ball bounced inside the post and in. Fantastic goal by Manchester United. I can't say this again. Fantastic effing goal by Manchester United. Manchester United get off to that second half, get off to a fantastic, absolutely fantastic, fantastic start to the second half. And then for the next 10 minutes or so, Villa get on top and it's well-deserved equaliser. Villa deserved their equaliser. They were the better team. They were the better team. And in that moment, we're all like anxiety. Like, look, my nails are gone. I'm like that, biting my nails. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? What are we doing here? But Villa were on the up. Luckily, Mbeumo runs offside. Bruno then puts a beautiful pass. By the way, throughout the whole game, as we did it in the preview, we said they're going to play a high line. We need to do opposite movements. We need to be able to break the high line. And we punished them with a high line with Cunha's goal. Cunha just makes it. Obviously, Mbeumo's like 10 yards offside. Bruno puts that was world class. I'm not going to lie to you. That is a world class pass because he can see where Mbeumo, if the ball goes towards Mbeumo, Manchester United are offside. He puts the ball, puts a little curve on the ball, just and Cunha runs onto it, times it, perfect timing, just way onside. And he gets in front of Konsa, puts his left foot, slips on it, bends it inside the far left-hand corner. Martinez's left-hand corner. Buried. That makes it 2-1. Oof. Then breathe. It was one of those, like, the reliever inside Old Trafford was like, it was one of those people. I've lost my voice. I was shouting for the boys there today. It was a very important game. It's a 6-pointer, crucial game. And Manchester United, I can get the table up right now. Manchester United are in contention to finishing in the Premier League. You know what I mean? In finishing third. Villa got overtaken as well. Liverpool are catching us now. Liverpool are the team that are here to catch us. But let's have a look at the table right now, where things just to stand. So where we go, we're 3 points ahead of Liverpool. Play the same games. It's 8 games to go. 8 games to go. 8 games to go, and we're 3 points behind Liverpool. 8 games to go, and we're 3 points behind Liverpool. And we've actually got better goal difference than Liverpool. But look at Man City, 32 goals, 39 goals Arsenal in terms of the goal difference. Chelsea actually scored more goals than Liverpool, and they lost. So how many points now? What's that? What's that between us and that's 6 points between us and Chelsea. Villa obviously still fighting. Obviously, the big difference between us and the rest of them, everybody in the top 5, 6, is they've all got European football, but we haven't got any European football. Have a look at Liverpool's games. Liverpool, I think, have got easier running. Let's have a look. Play Brighton. They always beat Brighton at home, but I hope Brighton do a job. They play Man City away. That's a tough game for them, I think. Fulham away, Fulham at home. Then they got the Merseyside derby. Then they play Crystal Palace, who are safe. Then they come to Old Trafford on the 15th of May. Is it the 2nd of May at 3 o'clock? Oh, that's a 3 o'clock game. A rare 3 o'clock. Wow. That's really interesting. That time's going to be changed, I'm telling you now. It's either going to be 5 o'clock for TV or it's going to be an early game, early kickoff in the morning. And then they've got to go to Chelsea and they finish at the end of the away to Villa. So they've got some tough games. I'm not going to lie to you. They have got some tough games. But let's have a look at our fixtures as well. If we have a look at Manchester United fixtures in the running for this top 4 race, we go Friday, we go to Bournemouth. That's a tough game. Leeds is always tough because the rivalry. Monday the 13th, I'll be going to that. I'll be there. And then here, Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea away on 20th. Then Brentford at home. Then Liverpool at home. And then we got Sunderland away. That's a tough game. Forest at home. They always trouble us, Forest. Then Brighton away. We finish our season with Brighton away. So that's the running, people. That is the running. Big up Luwani. Luwani's in the house.
Hey, big up, guys.
Luwani. But yeah, that's the running for now. Big up Luwani. Luwani, how did you see the game? I'm about to just to finish and just say how I saw the game. I thought the first half was a bit intense, bit sketchy. Manchester United came out, started slowly. I think we got the grip. So Villa were on a bit of ascendancy. They didn't play with any width at all. They had Rodgers and McGinn tucked in, and they had the two midfielders and the number 10 Buendia. They had Unana and God, I forgot his name. He actually scored. Ex-Everton player. But they played very narrow and they overawed us in midfield. They literally played. They squeezed
Ross Barkley, yeah.
Ross Barkley, yeah. They squeezed us and they played kind of, and Rodgers and McGinn coming inside made it, and Buendia, getting in the pockets. I thought they were looking very dangerous. Today, I thought Lady Yoro stood up. I thought Lady Yoro was fantastic today. One of his best performances in a long, long time in a Manchester United shirt. I thought Bruno was class at times today, especially with his deliveries and the way he was taking his time. He wasn't trying to spam it and rush it today as much as he did. But yeah, thank God for Sesko getting that third goal because that settled everybody. I didn't have to start biting my nails anymore. I stopped biting my nails. It was a breather. And I'm so happy that it was a jammy deflection. I'm so happy that it's against that goalkeeper because last time they won at Old Trafford, he did some mind tricks on Bruno and Bruno missed the penalty and they beat us 1-0. But when it was 1-1, the game was there for Villa. Luckily, Bruno turned out with a world-class moment, Cunha with a world-class finish. But other than that, I thought it was an even game. We made it a lot hard work than it should have been. Casemiro at times, everybody's singing 1 more year, but I'm like, 1 more year on the bench for someone. 1 more year on the bench for Casemiro. Not because honestly, the lack of physicality, the lack of pace, the lack of energy in midfield was so evident. It was unbelievable. Positionally today, he was all sorts, but he did open the scoring. He scored a wonderful header, and that must be said, a fantastic header to open the scoring. But yeah, first half, absolute drab. We put 3 amazing crosses in, but Sesko sat on the bench. Talk to me, Luwani. How did you see that game? People, please smash the likes on the video.
How you doing? You are at the stadium today? Oh, you mute. Okay.
I lost my voice. Yeah, I was at the stadium trying to get them over the line, man. Big up to the Villa fans. They had a lot of banter today.
First of all, just on the positive, a great result in the grand scheme of what we're trying to accomplish in terms of top 4 or being third now that we push Villa back down into the pack, especially given the result that Liverpool got today and then Chelsea also got yesterday. So that put us in a good position. We managed to put some daylight between us. From a game standpoint, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy we got the results, and that's why everything that matters right now. But in terms of that being an audition for Carrick, we just need to be careful not to look at it as an indictment of he getting the job or not. Let's not make a result-based analysis. So in a few weeks or a few months, we end up right where we started with Amorim. So on the game itself, what I was looking for is, when you watch a coach, we just came from a defeat, and what you want to see is you want to see what kind of adjustments your coach make to remedy to the defeat that you just got against Newcastle. Against Newcastle, we lament that we didn't have any width and Sesko didn't get any service. So it looked like at the beginning of this game, you can clearly see that Carrick he gave instructions to Cunha stay out wide, and even when he was dribbling and he was taking on his fullback, he was more going on the outside. And then he also give instruction to Dalo. You can see Dalo overlapping a little bit more than usual. So those two instruction kind of result in the two crosses that were flashed. I think the first one was by Cunha, and Ahmad Diallo missed the header by this. And then the other brilliant ball that was flashed by Diego Dallo across the box, and unfortunately there was nobody to attack it. And this is where I start thinking that those who say that Carrick is winging it, they might be right in this sense that if you know that today you're going to give us the width and you're going to instruct the people that are giving us the width to flashing crosses, but why did you put Sesko on the bench then? Because from everything that's been happening in the past game, I don't think that Mbomo deserves to start ahead of Sesko. So that's one thing that makes me think that maybe Carrick doesn't really know his team. He made the tactical adjustments necessary to give us a little bit more potency in the front. Then he benched the striker that's supposed to take advantage of that tactical adjustment that he made. That's number one. And the other thing I'm kind of worried about is that we don't seem to have like a structural defending in place, because a few times today, Aston Villa, you can tell what Unai Emery tried to do, even with their goalkeeper that was not good enough that was not good. Martinez was not good on the ball, but they still try to bait our press, right? They will recycle the ball, split their center back, and wait for us to press. And then we press them with five. We press them with five. The further in the press being a Bruno, and the guy who is in the back of the press being Kobe Mino. And each time we press them, they play through the press. That's the thing I'm more worried about. So even if you look at the goal that they score, their goal is a result of them. We try to press them, and then every time, just like last week, right, where we will press Newcastle and they will find Tonali. Every time Tonali turned, he's on challenge. It was pretty much the same thing today. When we press them, the ball get passed to Onana. Onana turned around unchallenged, right? Nobody was marking him. And that's what happened today on their first goal. When we press Onana just have to flick that ball, and then they were in, just like that. So, and as a result, they end up playing our final third. And you see that result, Tammy Abraham made a run, that ball get crossed back in it, and Onana hit it first. Lehman saved it. It went back into a corner, and the result scoring from that. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just trying to point out this kind of situation. And this is where my notion of fine margin comes from. If you don't control the game enough, because fine margin means that they were one goal down, and just like that, they scored, and then before we know, Tammy Abraham is getting a loose touch in our box. That you see what I'm saying, Nuruddin? If Tammy Abraham doesn't get that loose touch, that's a 2-1 game, right, like that, right? And that's a momentum swinger. And who know what kind of conversation we'll be having today. So I'm glad we will still winning, even though I don't believe that we showing it in terms of performance. We are still winning game, which will successfully help us accomplish our ultimate goal of top 4. But I cannot use this as a metric for how well Carrick will do next year, or if he's given the job on a permanent basis, and that's the one I'm worried about. The positive, the game just sum up to Aston Villa trying to execute, and we're looking for our moment. And then when they keep botching their execution, sometimes because they were not making the right pass, or most of the time they'll get the ball in the area, they'll cross it in. But like you say, Yoro was impeccable. He was following that run by Ole Watkins all the time and clearing those balls. And so it just comes down to that. They were trying to execute, they couldn't execute, and we were looking for our moment. And when they end up botching their execution, it become a basketball game. And when you play in a basketball game with us, there's always one person that's going to come a winner out of that. Is going to be us, because we have the quality in the final third. In terms of Bruno, I know I don't like the guy, but this is his kind of game. When you have a basketball game, he's just there. He provides the moment of quality, and we got 3 points. You know, we keep marching on to third position.
Yeah, big up Khalees Romadin. That's the chief head of United Real Therapy. Make sure you check him out at Khalees Romadin, Lassie people. Big up. It says Michael Carrick or Wayne Rooney back in there. There is so much noise. It's there, the only noise if you listen to it, I suppose. It doesn't affect me one bit. I'm loving it, and I want to keep pushing for more. Whatever happens will happen. Yeah. Yeah, Liverpool drew, yeah? No, it is updated. Yep. Let me just go back. It is updated. Let me just go back to the table. 1 second. He's telling me it's not updated. Let me just go back. Oh, maybe it hasn't. So let me just go back. Table. Go back. Yeah. Oh, Liverpool's still on 49. Okay. Liverpool are still on 49 points after 30 games. Yeah, so we are 5 points ahead of them, 3 points ahead of Villa. Yeah, big up King Sol for the recognition. Big up. Yeah, we're 4 points, 5 points ahead of Liverpool. I'm 3 points ahead of Aston Villa. Yeah. That's what we are, people. That's what we are. Big up for that correction. Have to make that correction. Big up to Khalees Romadin. Last day, Michael Carrick asked about Casemiro could stay at Manchester United. I think there's, in some ways, it's difficult to say. I think it's when something is decided. In some ways, the fact it was decided. Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I mean that we need to be careful. You know, this kind of
thing, honestly, he's on the ball physically. Recovering, he was dreadful today. I'm just asking. There we go. I've just said one more year for Cass off the bench, and 91% said yes. This is how giddy the fan base is, but I'm just putting it out there. But he can't start games for Manchester United in the Premier League. I think he might be decent in the Champions League, but not in the Premier League because the pace of the Premier League is too much. The amount of times that Villa came through our midfield today, sliced us through open. It was at times it was the basketballification of football. We were back to weirdness. But one thing I did like about the team, I'm not even hammering Ten Hag actually. Season before that, this is what we were: basketball. 1 minute they attack, when we attack. The game's too open. But I will say today the physicality was really good, and I thought Kobe Mainoo played well. Some people are saying that they didn't think Kobe played well.
I didn't think he played well. I didn't think he played. He's still very shy. He's not taking enough.
I thought he made loads of tackles today. He recovered the ball. I think he made the most recoveries in the game today. I don't think anybody made more recoveries in the game today than Kobe Mainoo. So many times he won the ball.
But to be fair, the referee was also letting a lot of tackle go.
You know, yes, but he won the ball loads of times. So let's have a look at his thing. Let me just share this instead. Look at his heat map. His heat map was all over the place. If you look at him, I thought he had a good game. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought he had a good game. Him, Lenny Yoro, Bruno had a really good game, I thought, today. Maguire did well. Casemiro was all right in bits, but off the ball, Casemiro was nowhere to be seen. So I just want to go to some of his stats, so just bear with me. Some of the recoveries, like, it's unbelievable. Have a look at here. 71. Defensive contributions, look at that, 14. 14 defensive contributions. Successful dribbles, 2 out of 4. Passing to the final third was 7. Accurate crosses, no. Accurate long balls, 2 out of 4, 50% again. But yeah, look at that defensive. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. You know, interceptions, 8 recoveries. Look at that, 8 recoveries. 8 recoveries, more than any other player. He didn't get dribble past once.
That side must have escaped me, because when I'm looking for at Kobe Mino, I'm mostly looking at
off the ball. He was good.
He's progressing the ball. Yeah, I didn't keep an eye on how he was. He was.
I thought Lenny Yoro was fantastic today.
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was fantastic. Look, passes to the final third. 1, he got his accurate, but look at his defensive contributions. Tackles 3. Last man tackle 1. That was a big one there. Clearances 5. Headed clearance 3. Interceptions 3. Recoveries 2. He didn't get dribble past either. Ground duels. Look at this. He's won 3. 75% of his ground duels. Aerial duels is 1-1, but he's not that great in the air. But last man tackle, there's one that he made in the box. Oh my God. I thought that was going to be, but he played here predominantly, played on the right-hand side of the 2 centre-backs. And I thought he did well. Maguire had a decent game, so I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Maguire had a decent game.
That's what I'm saying. They were able to progress the ball through that midfield and made it into our box. So
but the only thing that
our defense had a great game.
What pisses me off was that Maguire hugs the ball. He holds onto the ball a bit too much.
Yes,
Yeah. Go ahead, Luani.
Yeah, that is exactly part of the issue that we have. The thing is that when I'm looking for adjustment that the coach make from one game to another, right? You don't, of course, you want your coach to make adjustment, but you don't want it to be too simplistic. Like when Carrick says to Cunha, hug the touchline and go on the outside, put the cross in, and then he tells Dalot to overlap. Yes, we will make the pitch bigger, but that shouldn't just result in just flashing a couple of crosses in. That's a major adjustment. That should result in us moving the ball a bit faster. And I didn't see us moving the ball faster today. That is why I'm worried about. So what that tells me is that he's just giving it in terms of instruction. It's not something that they're working on in training. Otherwise, it will be like second nature to the players. Bruno or Casemiro, as soon as they get the ball, they'll be moving the ball a bit faster. Look, with Amorim, we were lamenting that we were playing in a back three. With Carrick, I'm sorry to say it, flash news, we still playing the back three. Because every time I look on that back line, I see Lenny Yoro, Maguire, and Luke Shaw on the same line. Now, I don't know what it is with Luke Shaw that he does never, ever want to overlap. Because why doesn't he push up? Because when you see a Maguire holding the ball, for example, he's taking touch, he's progressing the ball through the midfield, and Aston Villa is sitting in the low block. They're waiting for us. And then when Maguire gets to the halfway line, you see him, Lenny Yoro, and Luke Shaw literally on the same line. Why doesn't Luke Shaw push into space and Cunha invert? So that will give us a little bit more bodies in the midfield so we can have the option to either go wide, or if we still want to move the ball through the midfield, we still have the numbers there. But no, you don't have that. You have Luke Shaw, Cunha stay wide, Luke Shaw stay there, he doesn't move, and then Bruno drift to the left side as well. So between those three, there is no passing angle, let alone a triangle happening between those three. So Bruno is barely in the midfield. He drifts to the left, and when he given space, he make a turn. That's actually where his assist came today. So that had me a bit. That's why when we're trying to build on, to be honest with you, our left-hand side is dead. If it was not for Bruno drifting there and creating from there, there's nothing that happened on that left-hand side. Because Cunha, you asking Cunha to take on his man, he did it once today and put in a cross, and that's about it. That's not enough. We still very much an unbalanced team. We still very much like a one-dimensional team, waiting for Amat to do something on this side. But credit to Amat and Dallo, they were able to balance a little bit in terms of Amat coming inside and Dallo overlapping. That connection over there is fine. But on the other side, with Luke Shaw and Cunha, there is way too far. The distance between Luke Shaw and Cunha is way too much. And when Bruno doesn't drift there in between them to make the connection, it looked like an unbalanced area over there. So that's, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
and that's also the reason why when we lose the ball, teams are able to transition to us quickly, because at that point Bruno have already drifted left, and we only have, if Kobe Mino or Casemiro is up the pitch, we only have one DM left to defend in front of that defense.
Yeah, big up to Jamie Wayne. Happy birthday, man. Happy belated birthday. Hope you had a fantastic weekend, man. Jamie says, no, it was my birthday yesterday. This weekend has been good for me, bro. Plus, we won top pair off. Yeah, big up, 100%. Big up all the best people in the world were all born in March, mate. I'm a March baby as well. March baby. Big up to my brethren Daniel as well. Big up to my brethren Daniel. And yeah, I saw him at the stadium today. It was his birthday. He was with his mom and it was with everybody, man. So big up to him. Sending love to everybody. Yeah, United. Happy birthday, Jamie. Happy birthday, Jamie. Man of my own hearts, man. Man of my own hearts. Yeah, I thought, Luani there. Yeah, broader. Paul, just saying that you're spitting facts with your analysis, bro. I just think, I really think that when I look at it, I think, is this something for the vision to build on? Is this some things that they can build on? But my thing doesn't go behind. Manchester United need to refam that midfield. We need at least 3 midfielders if Ugarte is going to go. And for me, when everybody's talking about one, that's what they're singing in the stadium. I don't know if you could hear it, Luani. They were singing, one more year, Casemiro, something like that's what they were singing, right? But at the end of the day, when I see it, big up Sheikh Arian. I see your boy flapping yesterday, flapping at that ball. What happened against West Ham? Your boy, your boy. He's a big United fan, Sheikh Arian, but he loves the Donnarumma. Donnarumma is his favorite goalkeeper in the world. Yesterday got found out flapping. I told you he's prone to mistakes. What are you on about?
You don't know, then we United fans, we love stories. That's why we keep saying Casemiro 1 more year. That's why we keep saying give the job to Michael Carrick. But I'm looking at this as if our top 4 is already guaranteed. We're going to be in the Champions League next year, right? So when I look back at this week and the way the so-called top English team got slapped all over in Europe, I think the liver that had me worried, because now what is the point of going into next season in the Champions League with the glaring issue that we have? And we will get past maybe the group stage, and then when we get into the knockout phase, somebody will give us a football lesson. No. We need to be careful. Carrick, I'm okay with Carrick for what he's doing, but I just need to see more. When he's making adjustment, they can't just be simplistic adjustment. Today he was up against a coach in Unai Emery that's very experienced, that know how to coach a pattern of play. And I was trying to see how can I stack him up in terms of his pattern of play against Unai Emery. And you can see Unai Emery getting frustrated on the touchline because his players are not able to execute. But you can also tell that they were beating our press. They will pass the ball back to their goalkeeper, split the center back and wait for us to press them, and then they will play through us. And as soon as the game ends today, I just look at the schedule because I'm trying to see our fixture. And right away, the game that jumped at me is the game we have against Chelsea. I think that Chelsea will be a very difficult proposition because I've been watching Liam Rossini, and that's exactly what he does too. He beat the press and then he waits, and they just, and the difference is that Chelsea have better quality in their midfield and in their final third. And that right away, that's the game that I'm worried about if I have to pick off the bat, you know. But hopefully we win a lot more game before we get there. And even though, regardless of what happened in that game, it won't matter in the grand scheme of things.
No, 100%. 100%. They play football on the floor. They like to move it sharp and swing us side to side. I thought Villa did that at times today, but they also were doing a long diags to their striker. I always forget his name, man.
Ole Watkins.
Well, yeah, Ollie Watkins, yeah. And to be fair, Maguire and Yoro read that perfectly. They stopped him from getting any shots off.
Yeah, but you say Ole Watkins, right? But the reason I'm saying Chelsea, Ole Watkins, you see the Chelsea striker, the guy that came from Brighton, he's not Ole Watkins. He's not gonna take loose touches in the box. They have more potency in the attack, and their midfield is more robust. Their midfield move the ball a bit faster. Unlike they have more of a passers in midfield in terms of Enzo and even Cancelo, compared to Onana, who's more of a ball carrier and less of a passer. So yeah, let's be careful here. But I think we will be all right in the grand scheme of things. We'll be fine. I just want to see more from Carrick.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about a little bit about Carrick, but let me just get back to the where we're at with the poll. Let me just see where we are with the poll, people. Let me just see where we are with the poll. We asked you to one more year for Cass off the bench next season. Also, have you liked the video? People, you're not liking the video. We need to get 100 likes ASAP. That's our target for the stream. 78, whopping 78% are saying yes, one more year for Casemiro. And 12% are saying no.
No. Thank you for your service. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for your service and take care. 100%. Like the video, people. Like the video. That feels so sweet. When I think of some of the fans wanted Dybala is rubbish. Dybala. I don't know what that means, but anyway. It's like they lack. Chelsea have been poor at home. They lack discipline. Red cards, I'm not worried. It's the other teams like Bournemouth and the like we should be worried about. Yeah, 100%. They lack. I actually think he's got really good attributes. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not writing him off. I think it's dangerous just to call young players crap. I'm not thinking that. But yeah, big up to Spurs, man. Big up to Richarlison for coming to the rescue.
Fantastic game of football. Fantastic game of football.
Did you watch Spurs Liverpool? Yeah.
Yes, I did. It was a fantastic game. It was one of those old school games that they were both going at each other. No reserve. So you can, and Spurs, they defended well and they also moved the ball very well. I was actually impressed. I think if they play like they play today, they play the rest of their game, they can avoid relegation. They can avoid relegation. They were good. Richarlison was like a demon out there.
Yeah. He's an ex-Evertonian. Big up to Richarlison, man.
Big up.
Yeah. But look at the game more tactically, Luani. I thought that, what we did. Big up to Jarvis. Has Jarvis joined us yet? Jarvis hopefully will join us. But we're going to be hopefully sending him over to him later on around 8:30. Big up to Jarvis. Big up to the Tactical Devils crew. My mistake, Nura. The lap isn't good. I actually think he's a good player, man. I think he's getting to him. Chelsea is a mad football club. It's like Manchester United. And I think that, yeah, he's finding it difficult there. Plus, Pedro is levels above. Pedro is a proper footballer. He is a fantastic striker, Pedro. So he's battling with probably Brazil's number one striker in the World Cup. Yeah, that's what he's battling. More likely, Pedro's going to be Brazil's number one leading the line for Brazil. We got Liverpool at home, so can't wait. Slots been jammed in the slot machine. Pick up Jamie Wade. You know that might
don't speak too fast. Don't want to play Liverpool too fast.
Yeah.
Like I said, Tottenham played a fantastic game today. So and they earned a draw. That doesn't mean that Liverpool is a slouch. They can still they have potency in their final third. Like that young winger. And Salah is still Salah.
Rico.
Yep.
Rico,
so they're good. So we just need to be careful. Yeah. When you're talking, when you say tactically our game, right?
Oh boy.
I always want to compare like what the coach is doing now to what the previous coach is doing. And the very first thing I can say glaring to me is that there is a certain level of there's a certain pattern that Amorim played with. I'm not Amorim's bigger fan, but you can see his pattern. Even if his patterns are shit, they still lead us to creating many goal scoring opportunities, and we just were not taking our chances. We were not controlling the game at all because that was not in his agenda. But then on the defensive side, you see Amorim is still able to coach a press.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that had me worried is that Carrick is not able to coach a press. That had me worried because every time you shouldn't be pressing teams and they playing through you. And then if it's the case, then just make your adjustment, just drop in the mid block. But even that, we don't do it, we do it less. And that's one of the aspects of the game. You have to earn the right to win a game of football, or you have to earn the right to progress from game to game by at least having a solid defensive structure, but we don't have it. That's why I think next year, if we don't address this issue, it's gonna be a yo-yo for us. So right off the bat, Casemiro, the span of that team, Harry Maguire, Casemiro, and Bruno, I'll get rid of them. But Bruno has he have a lot of fans, so this is almost a cult over here. So I'm not but Casemiro and Harry Maguire, I'll get rid of them right away.
Yeah, really, really interesting. What did you think today that Luani? Now in the first half, we delivered 14 crosses. We delivered 20 in all in the game. But what do you think that tactic was to get the ball in the box when Sesko's sitting on the bench? I've said it before, honestly, we deliver more passes when he's not on the pitch.
That's why I said that. That's why I said that I think that Carrick is winging it, because as a coach, you're supposed to know your team. Even if you don't know your team, for us purists that are just watching from home, what everybody unanimously have been saying is that Sesko, we know he's capable in the air to attack the crosses with his size and then his dexterity to head the ball. So why would you shoot yourself in the foot? Because it's very clear that you told Cunha to go more on the outside. It's also very clear you told Dalot to overlap more. And the result were there to be seen. They flashed two beautiful crosses and nobody was there to attack them. Amat was there to attack the Cunha one, but come on. Nobody expects Amat to head the ball with the same level as Sesko does. So that's what makes me think that Carrick, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about a little bit more about the second half. I mean, both goals actually, our first goal and their goal came from, obviously ours came from a direct corner, but their thing came from a corner as well. It was recycling the box. And yet again, we concede regardless who the manager is, whether it's Ten Hag, whether it's Carrick, whether it's Amarim, Manchester United concede recycled, recycled balls into the box. And Barkley was that who fired it from close range. It did touch Onana, by the way, and he was in an offside position. Really, that's Onana's goal. And when I watched the highlights back a little bit after the game, he literally says, yeah, he did touch me. He touched him. And the VAR donkeys are like, we couldn't tell. And by the way, also in the first, it was the Stonewall penalty on Amat, whoever it was. It might have been Consa or whoever it was, dragging him to the front, holding his shirt and pulling him down into the net. I thought that was a disgraceful. That was a penalty. But obviously, the moment that for me decided was that sublime line-breaking ball from Bruno to Cunha, who made an amazing run and a fantastic finish. But I thought before that goal came, the game was really even when it was 1-1. It was really even, and you could say that Villa were the better team. But obviously, Sesko comes in the 75th minute. Sesko, the Cunha goes out wide, fantastic ball out wide to Cunha. He chests it, he gets past his fullback, and then he gets it into the box. And then the ball ricochets back to Sesko, and thank God he buried it. Oh my God. No, he come on in the 75th. I thought that the substitution was a bit too late for me. He should have come on in the 70th minute. But yeah, he made that, and that was brilliant. But yeah, I thought the battles Manchester United won in terms of where we were with the battles. Obviously, Bruno was a big difference, and I thought Yoro at the back was a big difference. I don't think... The one thing I would say about Luke Shaw, he didn't play well, but he didn't get overawed by Bailey when Bailey came on. Bailey's a tricky winger. He didn't get overawed. I thought he stuck to his task. So going forward, he didn't really offer that much. But defensively, I thought that he could get exposed. And yeah, there was a lot of messing around. There was a lot of messing around in the second half, but yeah.
This is it for us, right? Like, what we lack in terms of moving the ball and pattern, we compensate with that by just pure quality. So if I tell you, if Aston Villa have the ball in our final third versus we have the ball in their final third, anytime you put your money on us because we are more likely to score than they are. And that is essentially what's the difference in the game today. It's not like they didn't get the ball in our final third. You see, we have Casemiro at the end of our dead ball, and that's a goal. The ball, they put a brilliant cross in for Tyrone Mings today. He had it. That normally, if that's us, that's a goal. But then Tyrone Mings had it, he had it out. That's the difference in the game. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not. That's why, in terms of being convinced, I need a little bit more because then, when you meet a team that is also that is not just tactically astute, they have their pattern, but they're also potent in the final third as you are, then the balance, the scale is tipping in their favor, and that's what that's what makes me a little uneasy.
Yeah, big up. Bit cold in here, man. A bit cold, wet day, soggy, wet day. The sun came out as soon as Cunha scored. It was so funny at Old Trafford. As soon as Cunha scored, the sun came out. Before that, it was wet. I didn't cycle to the stadium today. Big up Jarvis. Jarvis looks like he's been on the beach somewhere, northern Norway, sunshine, snow yesterday. Honestly, you look like you've just come off a beach. You've got such a tan. Your face is just so tan. Big up to you, Jarvis. Hope you're well. I thought it was a mixture of a game, just to give you a little recap. I thought we exploited their fatigue and tiredness. They only created two chances, really, or 2 shots on goal minimum. But the game was a bit more about that. We made it in the second half more open and more end-to-end than it should have needed to be. But I thought Bruno today, at times with composure and skill on the ball, he showed things that I've not seen him do, to be fair. That was a big performance from him. In a very nervy Old Trafford, Jarvis, I can tell you that. It was very nervy. At times, the Villa fans were loud and proud. And, I was biting my nails till Benjamin Sesko scored that goal to make it 3-1. And we could have made it 4 or 5, I think Amat had a bit of a different game. But I thought actually on the ball and off the ball, Mbeumo had one of his best games. I thought he was a bit unlucky to come off actually in Mbeumo. I thought he had a good game, but for me, at the back, it was Yoro that was tremendous. And I thought Bruno was fantastic. I thought Kobe made 8 recoveries in the game. I thought off the ball, Kobe was good today. On the ball, at times he was slowing it down. But we won. 3 points is what matters, and we got the 3 points. How did you see the game, Jarvis? Big up to you.
Yeah, big up, guys. I'm glad to be here. Everybody, please smash the like for Nuruddin and United Real Therapy. So, yeah, I have to be honest. I didn't see the game direct when it was like 2:00. So I've been up in the hills, up in the mountains today and yesterday, skiing. So this is why I have a little bit of a tan. The sun was shining, was excellent. So I really had a great weekend. So I had to go stealth mode and turn off my phone. Don't be online. Don't watch anything. And then I watched the game in a rerun afterwards. But that was quite nice because I had a lot of time. I could just stop, rewind, watch certain situations over again, and actually analyze the game at the first time. So I don't actually need to watch the game another time right now. I feel I know the story of the game. And, that first half, that was quite of a, I would call it a chess game, if you know what I mean. Unai Emery set up his team, Carrick set up his team. You're like punching, shadow punching, holding our guards up, nothing, never opening up. And us being up at halftime, I think that was no, it was 0-0 at halftime. But again, it was one of those games, and I was quite happy with the first half. I think a lot of people, when they watch football, they think it was boring. They didn't see much, But from my point of view, I think we played that first half pretty well because we did what I've been asking of. I like the midfield pivot with Mainu and Kobe Mainu and Casemiro. They're not flat. They staggered all the time. One is pushing higher. One is covering all the time. We also played with the mid block. I like when we play with the mid block because we play in balance. We were always in balance because of this. But we also pressed high, but we waited for the triggers. So when we saw the triggers, let's say the pass goes from the center back out to the full back. That's a trigger. Then we squeeze. So I like what we do, So from a tactical point of view, the first half was quite interesting for me. I liked as I said, the staggered thing.
Did you see that they played with the 3, Buendia, McGinn, and Rodgers, and actually they played very narrow, and we couldn't sometimes. Yes. They played too narrow. I thought they didn't offer any width. And they sometimes overawed us because McGinn kept dropping in to help and making it a 3 at times with. And I thought Buendia was finding the spaces. Rodgers wasn't too much in the game, to be fair. But in the second half, when the game opened and we came into it. But Buendia, for me, was the danger guy. He was the guy. I kept screaming at Kobe and Casemiro saying, behind you. And there were times where Luke Shaw wasn't sure because of the fact that actually off the ball, at times, Diego Dalot started in as a midfielder, really inverted. And at times, it looked like we were playing 3 at the back. Yoro, Maguire, and Shaw. Because Diego Dalot was so aggressive finding these kind of positions. And I thought that if he was more composed, we could have took the lead in that first half. But second half, they changed it. Obviously, McGinn had a bit of an injury to his hand, and he's been out for quite a long time. But he looked dangerous today at times. But Buendia, for me, I was so glad he was off the pitch because they kept finding him and they kept bobbing us through that pass. As soon as they get Casemiro gets sucked in, boom, they're in behind Casemiro and Kobe, and they're running at the back 4. I thought those were, for me, nervous moments. There was a lot of tension in the stadium today. But the second half, I thought we came out, we did really well. We upped the aggression, we upped the intensity, upped the physicality. We upped it and we pushed them back. And obviously we scored the goal. But after that, we then sat back. Then they pushed on. Then they put more pressure on us. and they scored their goal. But after they scored the equaliser, they looked the better team. They were the team that was putting the passes together. They were the team that looked like they've got a set pattern of plays who were, with the diags and everything. And we coped with it well. But Cunha, thank God for that fantastic pass by Bruno Fernandes and that finish by Cunha.
Yeah, I think you summed it up well, Nuruddin, and I think you're 100% right in what you're saying, and because in front of our defense and behind our midfield, McGinn was actually lurking all the time, and the same did Buendina, and in the last 30 minutes. Rodgers also did the same because he did a couple of subs. We put Bailey on the wing and Rodgers central in the 10. So we struggle a little bit with that, and also we lost our discipline when it came to the pressing. But gladly for us, I think the centre backs did a really good job pushing up and filling that gap when needed. You can't go directly at the guy who's in between the defense and midfield. You have to wait until the pass comes, and then you have to push. Because if you go too early, they play over you, and you have to run in behind. So we timed it really well with our centre backs, and also Luke Shaw and Dalot at times. I think they did really well. We didn't see that long ball over our defense that many times in this game. So again, I think we were really well organized in a way, but I saw the same thing. I was a little bit worried, and especially in that second half, Bruno started losing his composure, discipline, started pressing too high on his own, on the goalkeeper sometimes, and then the rest of the guys had to follow through and push up, and then there was a big gap, behind the midfield and the defense, and that's actually where Aston Villa's goal came from. If you look at whole situation, it's Bruno pushing all the way up to Martinez, and then suddenly Aston Villa plays through our midfield, comes against our back four who have to back down, and Onana has the big chance, and then they get the goal, the corner kick, and they scored on the following corner kick with Roche Barkley. So again, this is what you get with Bruno: two fantastic, at least one fantastic assist, and also the ill discipline. The guy who opens up the game by himself, in both ends. So I'm not going to make this a negative on Bruno, because I think he had a quite good game today for 70 minutes. But again, he loses his composure a little bit. But I would say the interesting thing with Aston Villa was they were a little bit lopsided or asymmetrical in the way they were attacking, because they had Watkins and they had Rodgers. And Rodgers had a quiet game. He couldn't do anything. I think Lenny Yoro, wow, fantastic game. Took out Rodgers. Yeah, we didn't have nothing, And same with Dalot, defending really well. Amat did a great job. So, we locked down our right-hand side, Aston Villa's left-hand side with Rodgers. There was nothing they could do. And the only threat was McGinn, actually, in behind in the 10 position. But McGinn, is a kind of little bit limited when it comes to his abilities on the ball. So I think we were fine. And Unai Emery did the same for us. Every time he went into attack, you could see Dalot high and wide. And they tried to interchange him and Amat, because they pushed Amat into the centre back, into what's his name, Tyrone Mings, and try to isolate Amat one against Digne. But then Buendina came in and did the job. So Amat was never 1 against 1, because Unai Emery foresaw this. So, but the movement, the plan is good, but the execution not particularly well,
100%.
I would say. So there were some small details today, and I really enjoyed it. And the goals, the Casemiro goal, there's only Casemiro who can score like that on that corner kick. How he finds his way, drags it away from the defender, goes to the first post, and just head the ball right in the goal. That's Casemiro for you. I think Casemiro had a massive game today. I think he's, we all talk.
All at times he was.
Oh, you
Off the
didn't
ball, I
like
thought.
Casemiro?
No, on the ball, I thought he was good on the ball, but off the ball, at times, the lack of physicality. There was a couple of times where he didn't play to the whistle and he was, diving over the ball and stuff like that. And I thought it could have cost us and led to goals. But Lenny Yoro was fantastic. But he showed that the header was a fantastic header. Absolutely fantastic header. And I thought some of his passing was decent. But off the ball, how easy people can glide past him. That showed today as well, Jarvis.
Yeah.
But overall, he's playing well, but he's very limited when it comes to physicality and the physicality that you need and the speed that you need in the Premier League. Guess what the new chant is at Old Trafford? One more year, Casemiro.
Get out of here. No.
I swear to God, that's a new chant.
No.
I swear to God, that's what they're singing. One more year. That's why I put the poll up. And the United fans are saying yes. I said, one more year, Cas off the bench next season. 77%, 76% say yes, 24% say no.
Okay.
No, you see the thing.
Where do you sit on that, Jarvis?
No. Casemiro needs to go. He's too old. He's fantastic at the moment, but we will only see him decline after this. He's putting in. This is his last dance. He's doing everything for Man United. Look at him after scoring that goal, kissing the badge. I think Casemiro has the head in the right place. I think he knows this is his last season. He's giving 110%. He's giving everything for the team right now, and I think that's fantastic. But it has to end one time or another. So this is it. This is it for Casemiro. But I'm so happy we have Casemiro right now. We have seen this, at the end of seasons. Europa League runs. Ten Hag's first season, Casemiro is the guy who actually leads the line and helps the team and drags us over the line. So, he's without a doubt a strong leader, and he has the abilities when asked to. But again, he has limitations, and those limitations hurts us in the long run. So we got to be clear. Casemiro needs to go. We need to replace him with someone younger, with a better engine, who can cover more ground and help us to become a better team. Because Casemiro, as a individual, I like him, but as you said, Noradin, off the ball, he has his limitations. You see, sometimes it's very wild. He creates free kicks right outside the box. You saw that when he crashed into Rodgers. And they both got injured. But, again, it's Casemiro is a little bit too late. This is why, he doesn't have the acceleration needed, to be in the right moment. So, again, it's nothing about his effort. It's all about his abilities. And he's starting to lose a little bit of pace. And that's one of the problems.
Yeah, pick up Nick Nash's. Our next game's Bournemouth away next Friday. Aston Villa at home to West Ham next Sunday. Man City versus Arsenal in the Carabao Cup next Sunday. So if we beat Bournemouth, we can close the gap to 4 points.
That's funny.
Big up Nick Nash.
Yeah, but are we actually going for City? It's 7 points. Plus they have a much better goal difference. I think it's 15 goals. So it's actually practically it's 8 points we need to take. Yeah.
Everything is possible. Jarvis, I'm a little surprised that you liked that first half today, in terms of what we were doing.
It was balanced.
I don't know when I saw what we were doing. I wasn't too thrilled because like you said, if the midfield two in Casemiro and Kobe Mino are staggering, the issue I have is our defense was a little too flat, and we're still playing with a back three. So as we move the ball toward the midfield and we get to the halfway line, we still see Luke Shaw, Harry, and Lenny Yoro literally on the same line. And I think that kind of inhibit us in a certain way. When you have such a flat defense and you're trying to progress the ball, and when you lose it, it's just easier for team to transition on you, because this is not a situation where Luke Shaw will be aggressive and will step in the midfield like Lisandro Martinez used to do, either to build up play or either to be aggressive to intercept the runners. He doesn't do that. So I think I don't know. That just make me feel uneasy. Every time we have that flat line, I'll prefer one of our defenders to step in that midfield or even go wide. If it's look short, just go wide. Go a little bit more inside. Be on the if we are on the halfway line, at least be on their fullback all the way in, so you can drag them wide, so the midfielder can have more space to operate. That's
but
that's why
Luana, you saw what Aston Villa was doing. If you know Unai Emery, you could see Watkins and McGinn both dropping really deep and creating that box. So they had the box with Barkley and Onana and Watkins and McGinn. There's no space in the central. And Emery was squeezing. In that first half, it would have been perfect playing Sesko. They allowed us to come around on the flanks, putting in crosses. We had at least 5 really good crosses into the box. If Sesko was there, I bet you he would have scored at least one of them.
But,
I mean, we put 16.
So the game plan in a way worked.
We put 16 crosses into the box. Casemiro put a fantastic one in. Diego Dalot put a fantastic one in. And Cunha put a fantastic cross in. But guess where the deadliest guy in the box for us was? On the bench.
Yeah.
We made 20 crosses today, 14 in the first half. But Jarvis, the beginning of that half, God, lackadaisical, very slow.
What I also saw is Unai Emery. You see, at the point in that second half when they couldn't execute and they couldn't stop us, he changed it. He changed the tactic, and he tried to get them a little wider, and that started working for them. And those are the kind of thing, I'm a bit like iffy about, because Unai Emery he was animated on the touchline. You could tell they were not executing when it comes to their final third, but he changed it and tell them to stay wide, and try to compensate for the fact that his players were not executing. But when we get to a Bournemouth, I don't know. Bournemouth moved the ball very well as well, so we'll see. I just want to stay away from the fact that we all always rely on our quality to punish the opponent rather than having like a sustained pattern of play that we use. We were still moving the ball a bit too slow today for my liking. And then when you see the crosses that we put in, they are not a result of a pattern of play. This is literally Cunha facing his fullback and then beating him and putting in that cross. And Dalot had the space to overlap because of Amat inverting and putting in that first time cross. That's fine, but I just think we need to do a little better in terms of those, because we don't do it consistently enough in the game. This is how we play our game, right? We have moment, but then the other team have momentum, and the team that have momentum can always rely on creating a sustained pressure in order to score goal. Our moments do not accumulate. They're too spread out in 90 minutes. They not accumulate enough to generate momentum. When they came in today as the second half, as soon as they score, they have a couple more opportunities to score. And if they had scored at that point, that's a momentum shifter. They took the game away from us. And I don't know what kind of conversation we have been having today at this point. So.
Yeah, but I just want to say quickly before we go to Northern again, but when it comes to this, I think it's okay that we play the way we do, because I know that creating those patterns, talking about Bodø/Glimt and all of these teams who are really like a machine, everybody interchange, they know what they do. We are not at that stage yet. People got to remember, we are not at that stage. Carrick has been here for couple of months, maybe. And it takes time to develop that kind of relationship and understanding of football. But at the moment, our game plan is pretty basic. I like what I see when Dalot go wide and interchange with Amat, and then Dalot locks himself into one of those centre backs and Amat go wide. Okay, there's a plan behind it. We are executing the plan. We are doing it as Carrick is asking. But we can't suddenly be fireworks and burst into and be the best attacking team in the world after a manager's been here a couple of months. But I like that we see that we do the basics right. We do the basics right. We play with the mid block. We don't open up. We did a little bit after the 70th minute, but we don't open up. We stay compact. We play with balance all the time. Maybe we should have chosen a different game plan. Maybe we should have started Sesko. But again, who knows what Unai Emery would have done if Sesko was the target man. He wouldn't have opened up the sides. This is a calculated risk from Unai Emery. He knows we have Mbeumo or maybe Amat or Bruno in the central, so he allows crosses to come in. He wants to close that central lane. This is what he's doing. So if Sesko's been there, it would have been a different game. But again, it's hard to say for me. But I like but that we changed a couple of things, because the Newcastle game, I was really disappointed. We could see us opening up, not in a press play. We allowed Tonali to dictate the game, drop down, be the creator of everything. He set the tone. He was the
Jarvis, let me hold you on that. You say during the Newcastle game we allowed Tonali to have the ball. It's the same thing that happened today. Onana also got a lot of the ball. The only difference is that Tonali is more of a passer and Onana is more of a ball carrier. So the ball, when you pass the ball, it goes faster than when you carry it, obviously. So we were able to.
No, that's not right. That's not right, because the midfield wasn't flat deep as we were against Newcastle. Mainu and Casemiro against Aston Villa. Kobe Mainu was so much higher when we pressed. He was in close proximity to Bruno and Mbeumo. So we had 3 guys in the central area closing it out. And if the ball went out to the fullback, for example, Mbeumo followed, but we still had 2 guys centrally and closing down the central area. So Aston Villa had one option, and that was to try to play it direct from the fullback and up against two Rodgers, and then he was dominated by Lenny Yoro, for example, many times. So
but today Aston Villa went long only 2 times. Most of the time they played through that midfield, and the ball went to Onana. Even on their goal, that ball went to Onana first. Right?
Yeah, but I don't think they played through our press. I don't think they played through our press.
They did like 3 times. I counted it. The third time,
maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't see that. If you're right,
the third time, right, when they beat our press and we pressed them with 5, at that point they passed the ball to Onana and Onana flicked it. As soon as he flicked it, he eliminated. I think Kobe Mino was the one pressing him. Kobe was gone, and the guy Onana flicked it to have a free range on our defense. There was so much, I think it was Buendia, there was so much space in front of them, and they were able to take the ball into our final third, and that's where the goal came from.
Yeah, but now you're talking about the end of the game, because then our structure opened up. Now I'm
talking
predominantly about the first half.
At the beginning, they did it twice.
65th minute, I would say, when Unai Emery did his changes, he swapped McGinn and Watkins for he swapped them for what's his name,
Leon
Bailey and the ex-Chelsea Roma striker. I can't remember his name right now. And then because then Rodgers came in centrally.
Abrahams.
Yeah.
Even at the beginning, they were doing it. The only difference that when that ball went wide for them and they crossed it in, Lenny Yoro was there to clear it out. So he did at least 3 clearance right there in front of their striker Watkins. And those don't really like jump at us, because we look at it as a routine clearance for a defender. But our defenders have to be on their A game. When on the other side, when we cross the ball into our their defense and our striker is not there to attack it, or Amat couldn't reach that ball, we look at it as, wow, from our perspective, we did well. It's opportunities created. But on the other end, Lenny Yoro was also putting in some clearance. So we, like you said, maybe it's an even game. We were not able to stop what they were doing. They were not able to stop what we were doing. But since we got the result, we still have to look at it from a critical standpoint. So,
Noradin, a quick question. I don't know if you think, but what's your thoughts on the Aston Villa goal? Because you had Onana standing in front of
he touched it.
You think he touched it?
He touched it. In the highlights of the UK, he admits to it. It's like it touched me. When they go back to the halfway line, it's like after the goal was given, it's like it touched me. It was offside. It touches him. It touches his shorts, and that's a touch. Any material, that's a touch. But again, we concede whether it's Ten Hag, whether it is Amarim, whether it's Carrick, we concede from a recycled corner. Teams manage to pin us all into the box because we get all our players back into the box. We don't react quick enough. And we concede. And Ross Barkley was free when Dinia put the ball in and he just wrapped it left foot. That was his first start in the Premier League this season. And we got a goal. And at that stage of the game, we were under the cosh. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But by letter of the law, I mean, that could have been an offside, but that would be way too harsh because...
but he did touch him, though, Luane. He did.
Yeah, right, but he didn't touch him enough to alter the direction of the ball.
To me, that's enough. That's enough. I thought the referee was giving them a bit too much. Amat should have had a penalty, Jarvis. Ball got crossed in, whipped in, and he running and he got pulled down. That's the penalty.
Minks pulled him down. Yeah, I think that. Agree. Agree. But you know, the Villa goal had so many elements. There was a handball before on Tyler Minks. Yeah. That was a clear handball. Okay, it's into his body. You know, the ball gets shots directly up into him. But it could have been the referee could have called it. And I also think Onana stands in the way he affects the game, for the play for Sene Lamens.
Oh, Lamens is not. He's not stopping that ball. That's
no, it doesn't. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you affect the division, the eyesight of the goalkeeper by standing in an offside position. It doesn't matter if Lamens can save it or not. If you affect him, it's an offside. He's a part of the game if he affects the goalkeeper. For me, that's just how I see it.
And that's what I'm saying by letter of the law. But that would have been harsh because when we look at it in slow motion, the distance between where the guy stroked the ball and where Laman is, and the pace with which he stroked the ball, even if Onana was not there, Laman is not stopping that ball. I think it's based on that the VAR just allowed the goal, which is fine for the flow of the game. I know as fans we support our team, but I just look at it from the perspective. If it was us on the other side and we scored a goal like that, which is an equalizer, and that goal got disallowed, I'll feel outraged. So,
yeah, from my point of view, when you look at the angle, you know, the shot comes like this, and the goalkeeper clearly is aware of Onana standing there, so he knows the ball can't go through this part. So that's why he's standing here. Maybe if that player hasn't been in that offside, he would have been more to the middle of the goal, covering all of the goal. And for me, I think it's just one of those, you know. I think he affects the game one way or another. If he could have saved it, for me, it doesn't matter.
That ball hit the net before he even reacted.
Yeah,
he was struck with such a pace.
But again, does it matter? If the player in an offside position affects the goalkeeper?
I think if he dived and maybe he's half a second late on the ball, or the ball struck him and went into the goal, they could have said he had a chance to save it. But because the ball was struck and he didn't even react, I guess this thing probably is too much. It's a stretch, you know.
What's your take, Noradin?
I think it was offside goal. It clearly touches him. And I do agree that it's in line with, because he can see him directly where the ball is coming from. And the ball is literally going through him. The ball deflects off him. I don't care what anybody tells me. And yeah, for me, that goal would have been disallowed. But then you could say I'm biased.
But we won, so we won.
But I'm just glad that didn't cost us today. I'm really glad that the team didn't let, you know, their heads down and let that, you know, stop us. But Cunha, what a finish. Ball by Bruno, absolute sublime, world-class pass for me.
Yeah, nothing to say about Bruno today. The difference in this game today was
there was a bit to say because
Rogers didn't show up. Bruno did. That's it. That's the difference today.
So I see you put out the poll on man of the match. Who was your man of the match then?
Lenio. I'm not giving it to Bruno.
You're allowed to give it to Bruno if he was man of the match.
No, I'm not giving it to Bruno. That's me admitting that I'm wrong. I'm not admitting that I'm wrong.
At least you're honest.
No, I love him today, okay, but Lenio.
Yeah. Oh, you're mute, Nordin.
What did you think of Lenny Yoro's performance today?
Yeah, personally, I think it was massive. I think he had that block, that challenge he had on Rodgers, or who was it? That was amazing. And how he read the game, he kept himself. There were two guys against them. There were 3 against 2. Lenny Yoro, he was perfectly placed in between both the Aston Villa players. He didn't sell himself short. He just waited and waited and waited for the pass. And when the pass came, okay, he reacted and slid down and put in that perfect tackle. That deserves almost man of the match by himself. That's almost as much as a goal, I would say. It was fantastic. And also the way he was aggressive on Rodgers all the time. I think he had full control on Rodgers, especially in that first half.
I thought the physicality which lacked against Newcastle in the second half came back abundance today in the second half today. I thought even Diego Dalot was physical. Luke Shaw was physical at times. Even though he didn't offer anything and he wasn't getting up and down, he was just putting the ball inside a lot. And at times it looked like we were playing with 3 centre-backs, really. We went back to 3 because Diego Dalot was inverting so much, picking up midfield positions and then out, as a winger, almost standing on the touchline as a winger out wide. But yeah, that suited us.
I'm reading the comments.
Villa played very narrow, very, very narrow at times. And I thought that suited us, but yeah.
I'm reading the comment. There's a guy in the comments saying that I have an agenda on Bruno. You don't know me. Of course I have an agenda on Bruno. Look, he said, you can put Bruno and Rodgers in the same sentence. Of course I can put Bruno and Rodgers in the same sentence. I think Rodgers is better, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's a better player. It matters who shows up. And Bruno shows up. And he shows up more often than not when we need him. And also, in that 10-game winning streak that Villa have, Rodgers was carrying them as well. So, hey, whoever talisman showed up today won the game, and we did. So, I'll give Bruno his credit. But yes, I have an agenda on Bruno. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
But yeah, agenda, no agenda.
Listen, it's clear. 66% of the vote goes to Bruno. And I thought, to me, the world-class moment that won the game was the second goal. In a time that we were struggling in the game when it was 1-1. And he made a difference. They got distracted, actually, by Mbeumo, because Mbeumo went and strayed offside, like 6-7 yards offside. And Cunha just timed his run way. He was like 2 or 3 yards onside, Cunha, and then got in front of Conta, and then the finish was fantastic. It was so funny. Every time they had a free kick, Martinez would run to the halfway line, try to tell them how to. It was laughable. It was laughable at times. And in the second half, Cunha, Dini had the ball out wide. When you're in the stadium. Things that you notice. So Dini has got the ball, and it's after Cunha had the injury, and then he got, the referee had to let him back on, right? Referee was taking his time. We were booing, like, let him back on, and we were all shouting. He goes back on. Dini has got the ball. Cunha goes, listen, come on, stop passing it back. Take me on. He does this thing with his hands. It's like, come on, Come on, take me on. That made me laugh in a game like that when it's not serious. Cunha is doing a madness, man. He's a madman, honestly, at times. But
Yes.
he took his goal
Yeah.
well. He kept the ball well at times, and he put some good crosses in. But just like, talk to me about Mbeumo today, Jarvis, because before we last couple of minutes, and then I let you go and set up the the
well,
I thought Mbeumo
yeah,
a lot more robust today, physically on the ball. He was challenging. I think the kind of he showed a lot of physicality and energy. I thought, of course, he wasn't in the game in the first half because he wasn't that type of game in the first half. It was just a lot of robust. Second half, he was really disappointed to be taken off. By the way, he was shaking his head, and then the whole stadium started singing because he had to go off the pitch on our side and then walk around, and then they were all singing Brian Mbeumo. That's what they were singing. So he was really disappointed when he got taken off. When he saw his number, he was like, he was kicking off. I don't thought if the camera picked up on that. But I thought he had a bit more aggression and energy and intensity about his play today.
Yeah. I think you're right. And centrally, I think it makes a really good job. We saw against Newcastle. As I said, I see improvements in the structure of the team. And against Newcastle, when we had Sesko and Bruno there, we didn't quite know how to close the central gap, but we did with Mbeumo. Mbeumo is really good at pressing, and he's very intelligent as a footballer. He knows when to interchange. You could see him a couple of times interchanging with Amat because he's the closest one to the fullback when he bombs on. So Mbeumo takes the defensive job a lot of the times also. So I like Mbeumo as a player. I think he makes us a better team structurally. And his off-the-ball movement, his off-the-ball work, very underrated. And I think maybe if people say he had a poor game today, they only see him on the ball. They don't quite see what's going on and the tactical aspect. Because for us, keeping that, almost playing against a diamond centrally, because McGinn was dropping down and you have one guy who's always behind our midfield pivot. That's the danger, man. That's the threat. So we have to stop all the passes going into him. And Carrick, he was obviously seeing this. He saw that guy was open all the time. But we took a calculated risk by playing really compact and being disciplined. And again, that's on Mbeumo. I think Mbeumo is a fantastic player. I like him. On the negatives, maybe he should get more involved on the ball. Maybe he needs to be more involved on the ball. But besides that, I think we need to start Mbeumo over Sesko, especially against better teams, because I think it gives us more stability as a team. And I don't mind, playing that first half, just playing the chess game, closing all the gaps, just let the game settle a little bit. And then go for the kill in that second half. And we know Sesko, he can come in. He needed 4 minutes today or something, 4 or 5 minutes before he scored a goal. So again, when the game opens a little bit up, okay, boom, Sesko time, get in, do your thing, score a goal, win us the game.
I don't know. When it comes to Mbeumo, his stocks are going down in my books, because I don't think he gives us enough on the ball. Today, I was watching the game and him, Bruno, and Cunha, even Cunha to a certain extent, were the one that were disappointing me in the game. Even with Cunha, you can see Cunha, when he was taking the ball, he was losing his balance all the time. He take a simple first touch and then he loses his balance. He's all over the place. I don't know. And then until he put that cross in, until he's good on taking on somebody. But apart from that, when he's playing in traffic, he doesn't have the best balance. And Mbeumo was almost anonymous in the game today. I didn't see him doing anything good at all. And when it comes to the issue with Bruno, for example, is that we were not seeing him on the pitch because he was drifting left all the time. And for me, when a midfielder is drifting left, it's suspicious for me because he's looking for that space. And that space only came when we score, after we score. So I'm not for, like somebody was saying in the comment, he got it spot on. it's almost like Bruno is a situational football player. Like for certain circumstances, if we playing on the counter, or if the other team is now attacking and space is appearing on the pitch, then he's at his optimum. But before that, when the game is tight and we don't have the ball, or team are sitting off us, you don't see a lot of him. And that's why I say he's limited as a midfielder, because when you're a midfielder, your first attribute should be able to play in traffic. But when you have to drift to one side of the pitch to go look for space, I don't know. For me, it's not conducive to he unbalanced the team basically.
Okay. Yeah, well, then we disagree again, but I'm glad we see football
That's
differently.
good to disagree. It's always healthy.
Yeah.
Jarvis, go and start your show. We'll send them over.
Yeah, I will jump over. Stu is waiting. We are going live with the Tactical Devils now with the match reaction.
More in detail. If you want more detail, in-depth analysis, then jump on. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, go.
Thank you for having me on, Nuruddin. Big up,
Jarvis.
The chat, and please, people,
I'm so happy that you went away on the weekend and you look at your face. Look like you're from Spain.
Thanks for stopping by.
The Spanish Riviera. Just come off the Spanish Riviera.
Yeah, but you saw that. I sent you the pictures of what I was doing. You know,
amazing. It's so sunny.
How high is the ski?
No, it's not that high. It's just up in the mountains. I don't know. Maybe 1,500.
It is high. It's high for us.
Yeah. Okay, big up, guys. Big up.
Yes, people. Luan, who was your man of the match today?
Leniero.
Mine was Bruno Fernandes. You know, I've got zero agenda. When he plays well, I'll tell you. When he has an indifferent, I'll tell you, it's one of those things for me. 62% of you agree in the chat. Bruno was the man of the match. Yoro, 8%. That's quite sure, actually. I thought it was best game. Casemiro, 27%. Kobe Main, 2%. That is really bad. I don't know what's going on with the chat, but they don't rate Kobe. Kobe played well today. Best defensive midfielder today. 8 recoveries he made. Absolutely fantastic, people. I don't know what is going on, honestly. I genuinely don't understand why people hate on him. But yeah, Bruno, to me, world class.
You know, we'll be having this conversation about Bruno till the cows come home.
Yes.
Like I say, fine margin, situational football. Not good enough to challenge for a title. Not good enough to be even consistent in the Premier League as a team. Not good enough to be like an elite club in the knockout phase of the Champions League. Look at what they did to all the English team this week. Look at that. You know, they know that the English team are physical, and guess what? At the group stage, yes, you can overwhelm teams physically, but then you get to the knockout stage, you're meeting quality team. As soon as those quality team can match your work rate, their quality will overwhelm you. And
Nah, definitely. For me, I mean, there's a lot of games to be played yet, but I think in the Champions League he might look better. Definitely. Still not convinced by Kobe. Talk to me, Chiku. What are you not convinced by? He's been out. He's not played consistently, and he's been bought in.
You think in the Champions League you do better? You see what Real Madrid did to
because those teams attack you like Liverpool, like City or Arsenal. They attack you. They play open. They don't play defensive in the Champions League.
But you see what Real Madrid did to City.
Yes, I mean, but that's Real Madrid. Real Madrid are very unique in the Champions League, bro. They're very unique.
When I watched that game, the thing that struck me about Real Madrid is not the quality that they have on the ball in terms of what Valverde did. Is the fact that City did the same thing they did to take Newcastle apart. They make the pitch wide with Doku and the other guy and Savinho. But against Real Madrid, the Madristas, they were closing up the space faster than I'm surprised a team full of stars is able to put in that defensive performance. City couldn't find any space. until at least the second half. So I don't
To be
know.
fair, they missed opportunities. The last pass wasn't there either for them, to be fair. City, but Real Madrid and that stadium can do that to you. It can really do that to you. It can really do that to you.
Do you think we move the ball better than Bordeaux Glim?
No fucking way. No, but that's why Bordeaux Glim are one of the, to me, play the best football in the Champions League. They play the best football in the Champions League.
And watch next year we play Bordeaux Glim, they palm us, and people come out and say Carrick out.
I can see that happening. But the only thing that I would say about Champions League, it's not like the Premier League. Teams attack you. And I think we play better when the game's open and the teams attack you. Because we've got players who, who can do some things. Yeah.
Big up.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just waiting for them to start their stream. But
how many more games? I think we have 8 games.
8 games. 8 games left.
So what do you think? Top 4 is solidified now? Or
no, not for me, not yet. Yeah, not for me. Not for me, because we've got too many games. Like, so we've got to play Chelsea. Bournemouth on Friday is going to be a tough game. I don't know what you think about that, but that's going to be a tough game.
One thing for sure, Bournemouth will move the ball faster than us, better. That for sure.
100%.
I hate to repeat that, but that is their trademark, actually. The only difference is going to be still our moments. If we have our moments, we're going to be clinical. If they create their chances, are they going to be clinical?
Yeah. They've not been clinical in their last game. I think they drew 0-0. And the Areola was coming out saying that they missed chances. So, yeah.
Yeah, but then with Bournemouth, I've never seen them being dominated.
Yeah, Friday, Jamie Wayne. We play on Friday, and then for 3 weeks, for almost a month, we don't play. We don't play till the end of March, till like 3/4 of April. I can show you. Let me just show them what the fixtures are saying. Let me just show them. Let me just show you, lot. This is the games that we have. So we play Bournemouth on Friday. Then we've got Leeds on the 13th of April. Right? So we've got almost 3 weeks. Look, 10 days left. 23 days later, we play against
23 days.
Yeah.
So
we play them on the 13th. And our last game is, 20th.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit boring.
Days, yeah. It's 23 days, yeah.
That Chelsea United game, that is going to be very interesting.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting game. But yeah, people, big up to everybody. Please smash a like and subscribe to the channel if you already subscribed. Let me just tell you how many subscribers we have. We are 160 short of 15K for a channel that's shadow banned. That's quite good. So the least you could do, subscribe, and let's get to the 100 likes. Big up to everybody. Big up, stop the war machine. Stop the warmongering. F the Zios. F the colonizers and the imperialists. Solidarity with all the countries out there under occupation and people getting bombed right, left, and center. Love to my people and my family in Lebanon. Love to the people in Palestine. Love to my people in Iran. And love to people everywhere, man. Peace is the only way, but we never make money from peace. These warmongering, the Epstein PDF files are the reason why this war started. F Trump. F Netanyahu, F them all, man. F them all. Big up and love to you all. Please, like I said on your way, subscribe to the channel. And please raid Jarvis and Stu and pick them up. Tell them it's a URT raid. Big up, love and like I said, Bruno has won the man of the match. 67%.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, this is where we're at, people. But yeah, F the Glazers, F Ineos. Big up to the people that were chanting Glazers out today. Love and light. Yes, have done, Jarvis. Have done. Good night, people. I've raided them.
Good
Love.
night.
Take care.
Take care, Northern.
Take care. Big up, Luwani. Thank you for
Big
jumping
up.
on. Bailey. Make sure you follow Luwani. Manuel Luwani 1979. Big up, love. Take care.